In Shlomo Avineri's exploration of Karl Marx's social and political thought, the primary aim is to bridge the gap between popular interest in Marx and a deeper understanding of his writings and theories. Avineri observes a discrepancy between Marx's actual writings and what is commonly perceived as Marxism, noting that much of the latter contradicts Marx's own ideas. He highlights Marx's early works, particularly his critique of Hegel's philosophy of law from 1843, as pivotal in understanding Marx's later thought. Avineri asserts that this critique encapsulates the main themes and challenges of Marx's philosophy. Avineri's analysis delves into Marx's critique of Hegel, revealing how Marx's critique exposes the limitations of Hegel's constitutional monarchy, arguing that it fails to fulfill the requirements of reason and achieve the developing wholeness inherent in historical progress. For Marx, the state's bureaucratic apparatus, which Hegel viewed as a universal class, is instead a self-perpetuating interest group, reflecting the disconnect between the idealized state and the realities of civil society. Central to Marx's critique is the concept of alienation, introduced in this context for the first time, which stems from the profound divide between the heavenly universality of the state and the atomistic economic order of civil society. Marx contends that democracy, particularly through universal suffrage, is the only path to resolving this alienation and achieving true self-determination for the people. Democracy, in Marx's view, represents the synthesis of the state and civil society, transcending their separate functions and realizing the communal essence of humanity. Avineri traces Marx's evolving perspective on democracy throughout his later works, highlighting its centrality to Marx's conception of socialism and communism. Marx sees democracy as essential for transitioning beyond the capitalist system, envisioning a society where public power is no longer separate from society itself. Avineri identifies Marx's vision as one of liberal democratic socialism, emphasizing the importance of democratic principles in Marx's political philosophy. In the final chapter of his book, Dr. Avineri advocates for the rescue of Karl Marx's ideas from the interpretations of his disciples, particularly Lenin and Engels. This endeavor has been ongoing for some time, often involving a reinterpretation of Marx's early writings, which were either unpublished or not fully available until after his death and the passing of Lenin. Avineri rejects the tendency to contrast the young Marx with the older Marx, arguing that Marx maintained certain key ideas throughout his life, which were not fully grasped by his disciples, including Engels and Lenin. Avineri views Engels and Lenin as vulgarizers of Marx's ideas, failing to comprehend the subtleties and profundities of his thought, particularly regarding the social nature of humanity, self-creativity, alienation, and the dialectical nature of social processes. While Avineri's defense of Marx's legacy is commendable, some may argue that Marx himself did not fully grasp the implications and limitations of his ideas. Despite this, Marx's contributions to our understanding of humanity and society remain significant. Avineri's book challenges common misconceptions about Marx's thought and offers a fresh, insightful, and accessible perspective. However, it may be overly generous in its portrayal of Marx, as he may have been a more confused thinker than Avineri suggests. Avineri does not engage in a thorough critique of some of Marx's central ideas, which could reveal inconsistencies and contradictions within his thought. Additionally, Avineri assumes that Marx did not contradict himself, yet fails to reconcile conflicting passages within Marx's writings. While Engels had the opportunity to discuss Marx's ideas directly with him, contemporary scholars lack such access, and many distortions of Marx's ideas were disseminated by Engels with Marx's endorsement. While Avineri presents Marx as endorsing a form of liberal democracy, some argue that Avineri oversimplifies Marx's political philosophy, downplaying its complexities and ambiguities. Marx's advocacy for state centralization and his willingness to support coercive measures to advance socialism challenge Avineri's portrayal of Marx as a staunch advocate for democracy alone. Moreover, Marx's rejection of individual rights, viewed as mere reflections of capitalist class interests, complicates Avineri's assertion that Marx stood for the realization of liberalism.